Well, and we are back with the Vacuous Perspective. I am Val, joined always by great mate, fellow podcast co-host and organ donor, Nate.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Still on the list, right?
Yeah, certainly. I didn't go about removing myself from the list. I couldn't figure that out.
But you should be worried about it, right? Because if you don't have your organs, then you can't go to the ancient Egyptian afterlife, my friend.
Apparently. I'm not so worried about it, though. I'm not sure if I should be. I could also be saving a life, though. That's the other thing. When you turn up without your organs and they say, hey, mate, where's your spleen? You silly, you silly person. Yes. I'll be like, man, I was saving Joe Bloggs, who...
And you think this will help you in the weighing of the feather bit?
Well, surely that's a good thing.
It's got to count for something.
That's got to count. Got to count.
I agree with you. How you been? What's been happening?
Yeah, I've been very, very well. It's on my mind, so I'm just going to bring it up right now. Did you see the end of the Essendon Port Adelaide game on Saturday night?
Heard it was huge. Are we talking kick after the siren? Yes, we are.
It was. It wasn't just a kick after the siren, though.
55 metres?
It was at 55-metre bowl.
Yes. They're calling it goal of the year.
Are they?
Yes.
I could see why. It was ginormous.
By that, I mean the panel, the one panel that I would watch on YouTube, you know what I mean, said
that's enough. That's enough. Yeah. They've called it. Yeah, they've got a lot of authority, that panel.
Yes.
So it was almost – so you haven't seen it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. I've seen the highlights, but I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, okay. Because Essendon kicked the last 3 goals of the match to go up by – they look sunk, right? They kicked the last 3 goals of the match to go up by a point with a minute and a half left. And the rain's coming down.
Oh, shit.
The guy who kicked the goal is, giving it one of those double fist pump, like, come on things in the rain.
Yes.
He's living his dream.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Oh, it was sick. And then someone kicked another point. I think this is how it went down. So now Essendon are up by 2 points. Port need a goal to win. Houston takes a mark about 50 out, and there's about 15, 20 seconds left.
I saw that, yeah.
And he's like... Yeah, I've got this.
I've got this.
Wow. I was like, man, the confidence of this guy. But what you want to do, I would have thought, I mean, Houston, don't let me tell you how to do your job because he got goal
given
of the
that
year.
You've already done it. Yeah.
But if I was going to tell you how to do your job,
yes,
I would say kick that ball, just get it in there. Yeah, go for the goal or set it up to the top of the goal square.
There's still
15.
Now.
Go now because if they bat it down or keep it out or whatever,
it's GG.
It's GG.
And I did see when the ball crossed the line where the umpire was standing, he's basically in the pack. It's king of the pack. He's the smallest kid and he's getting
the funniest photo. It is such a good photo.
It's classic. Yeah, you're right.
I was zooming in on his face.
He's struggling to see it. And he called it. To his credit, he actually called it. He said, I think it's a goal, but let's go upstairs.
Yeah, he was right.
Huge.
Man, look
he didn't
say,
I had no fucking idea I had all these fucking pricks on me. Yeah,
I just sent it to you and this guy just zoomed in a little bit. He is perfectly positioned on the line. He is committing to that.
Well, he's not even on the line. He's in the field of play.
No, but he's right. Oh, remember, the ball
is
getting
over
the best
view he can.
He possibly
he's
can.
Job.
He is right in amongst everyone. He knows they're all just going to be jumping on him like in a big pile.
Yeah. My God.
I was just so impressed with that guy, his commitment to his job. I was like,
is it better than the goal? Is his job here better than the goal? Is this goal is this goal call of the year?
I reckon they need to wheel this guy out if there's any ever after the siren goal like this. We need to get this guy out there. He's a specialist.
Oh, that's great. In other sport news, apparently Australia is a bunch of cheating scumbags again, according to the English fans, right?
Mate, tell me what's happened because I heard that, but I haven't even paid any attention in the slightest to the Ashes.
Okay, so here's what happened, right? Australia, day 5, they're in a tussle. Right? I didn't watch the fucking game either, but they're in a tussle.
Well, once you get to day 5, you're officially in a tussle.
Tussling.
Yeah.
Hectic tussle. Bairstow lets a ball go back to the keeper and then just strolls off the line and they stump him.
Mate.
And it wasn't a spin bowler. It was a medium pace or fast bowler. I don't know who bowled it. The ball goes back to the wicketkeeper. He just strolls off the line as soon as the ball goes back to the wicketkeeper and they just fucking go, Fucking takes the stump, like he threw it at the stumps, gets the out.
So the keeper
goes,
wasn't.
fucking, how is it?
The keeper wasn't up at the stump, so the keeper's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's it a dead ball in that situation? I don't know.
That's what he thought. He thought the ball was dead.
And so, but they why are they cheating if the umpires reviewed it and made a decision? Isn't that for the umpires?
See, this is the thing. There is no cheating here. There is no rule breakage here. The rules were followed precisely to the letter. It's whether or not it's the most sportsmanship thing to do. It's like one of those unwritten rules, which no one
no.
And the English fans were up in arms. They actually had a bit of in the Lords members area, which this is at Lords, so booing at Lords is a bit of a big deal. But as the players are coming off, because for those playing at home, Lords is like a really, you have to dress up nice in a suit, be on your best behaviour. It's all pretty respectful. It's not the fucking party or whatever. Down at
they
the
probably
G,
call it the
shit.
Yeah. Do they have some fan? It's probably the home of cricket or something. Was cricket born there? Was the Virgin Mary gave birth to a Tendulkar there or something?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact details, but something like that. But they stopped the Australian players while they were walking out. It was like, fuck it, scumbags kind of thing, trying to scumbag them out. There was a chant that went out, typical Australia, or always cheating or some shit, like something to that effect. And the funny thing is, and this was pointed out pretty quickly by the commentators, is that Bairstow tried the exact same move when he was keeping in the other innings, and if they got the out, then right,
they would have been geniuses.
Well, they would have appealed, And yes, there's been instances where something has happened on the cricket pitch where someone has got out, but then the team have gone, look, we want to take back our appeal, and we want to let him keep batting. Even though he's out, even though you've called him out.
You can take back an appeal.
Yeah,
what?
You can take it back. You can say,
once the umpire says you're out, isn't that?
Nah, apparently not. Apparently there's still room for discussion.
You can overrule. Really?
Yeah. Well, I've seen it happen. They literally had the guy walking off and they said, no, come back. It was India against somebody. It was a cheap out, very similar to this one in a way. But as he's walking off, he's like, no, we don't want it. The captain made a call and said, no, get him back.
I thought once that little curly finger goes up, I thought that's
a very gentlemanly game. Very gentlemanly game indeed.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want to tell Bairstow how to do his job either, but sure. I'm going to do it.
We're going to do it, yeah.
Mate, keep something behind that line. I mean, protect your castle. What is he doing?
Yeah, I mean, the example from my world, like the MMA, the MMA world, like I'm some fighter. No, I'm just like watching it, right? The rule is protect yourself at all times. It's one of those first rules that you get told, keep your foot behind the line when you're a batsman.
Keep your foot behind, of course.
Protect yourself at all times. If someone dropped their guard and gets knocked out, like what Floyd Mayweather did all those years ago to that poor guy, it's a knockout. Like on paper, you got knocked out, mate, because you weren't protecting yourself.
You've only got yourself to blame, right?
You broke the rules. Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I'm surprised that you didn't see that one, actually.
I've just lost interest in cricket. I don't want to talk
what
about
happened.
It. I just can't. Cycling started. The Tour de France has started.
So you don't have time to watch 5 days of cricket. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, it's a 23-day event, 6 hours of cycling a day, and
that's a lot, isn't it?
If you start doubling that up with, I'm watching the AFL, trying to do this. I'm trying to work a little bit in between. I'm trying to do a bit of a full-time job.
You are watching the AFL?
Yeah.
So the Eagles lost by something like 8 points on the weekend, and everyone's jumping up and down like we won the premiership or something.
It was so brutal. That was so brutal. Did you see the second half?
Yeah, I watched the second half. Yeah.
I knew the last quarter of shithouse until I saw the worm. The worm, what involved. So the Eagles were up by 1 point at three-quarter time. Yeah. And then St Kilda kicked a goal near the beginning of the first quarter, and that was it, just points all around. They were just trading points for the rest of the quarter. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
They just ran out of juice, right?
Yeah. A young team will do that. I thought at halftime, they could still lose by 10 goals.
Yeah, you just thought they were about to give out and St Kilda were just going to come over the top.
I've seen them play recently. I knew they could still lose by 10 goals. I knew that lead they had was, they had it in them.
It's so brutal at the moment being a fan in WA.
Yeah, I haven't watched too many Eagles games actually.
No, you're too busy watching the tour.
Yeah. I'm going to a concert as well that I want you to look into, because sometimes I don't look into things. I want to look into them with you.
Right.
Because I don't have time because there's a lot of sport on. I've got this
Yeah,
ticket.
too much
And
sport.
feel free to get a ticket to it as well.
Tell me
His
more.
name's, let me just find it, Kirin Callinan. Kirin Callinan. One of our friends, Mizey, highly recommended this gentleman, says he's seen him before. He's playing at Mojo's on the 21st.
Mojo's. Wow, what a throwback.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what's crazy about Mojo's? I always say this about Mojo's, by the way.
Yeah, what do you say?
Is that you see some crazy good artists there in a venue that fits 150 people, 200 people, you know?
Yeah, but does it even fit that many?
I don't know how many it fits, but it's not many, right? It's a pretty small pub. Always had that small pub thing, that exclusive kind of funky vibe thing. I love Mojo's. Big fan. Seen some great bands there.
So I'm trying to find this rundown that Mitch Omazi sent through with it. But anyway, there's something about him. Like I think he's either really bad or there's something about him. Like he's got some, I mean, I was not excited at all to see this guy,
Right.
other than the fact that our friend highly recommended him.
Yes.
If it was not for this recommendation, there is no way I'd consider going to this.
So you're going to this?
Yeah.
He's going to this?
Yep.
He's got to go. All right, well, I'm excited.
Sorry, and I'm trying to find now the little rundown in this chat because there was a link and I just can't, for the life of me, I can't remember what fucking chat it was. Anyway, when I figure out what's going on, I'll ask you about him again. But
okay. And when's the gig?
21st of July.
Wow. Okay.
So he's got like the bloody worst sounding thing of all time or something. You know, like a lot of people have said is painful.
Great. I'm intrigued.
Speaking of painful,
I thought you said it was really good, and then you're like, nah, it's painful. And that's it's because you can't tell if he's good or bad. That's the point, kind of thing.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe there's some nuance to it. Like if
I'm familiar with these artists, I'm big on these artists. I think I listen to more joke shit than actual music these days. When I'm playing games with the lads, with the friends, we listen to Bangs. You know your boy Bangs?
No.
Yeah, you do. Come on, take you to the movies. He was a bit of an Australian, bit of a rap god. I'll send you some. I'll send you some.
Yeah. Educate me.
Because if he was playing at Mojo's or anywhere, if he was happening, right? If he was on,
yeah,
I'd be saying we need to get a ticket to this.
Yeah, okay.
We have to go. And I know heaps of people who would want to go to that. It would pop off. But again, it's because if you were to try and think about his best song, are you naming his best song or are you naming his worst song? Because if something's so bad that it tips to good, if you can get that to click in your brain, like if you can watch a really bad movie and because it's so bad, you enjoy it, you're actually gaining pleasure from something that's really bad. That's the magic of this shit.
It is, isn't it? There's something about it where they're not doing the usual. They're not going the usual track, the well-worn.
The path.
They're doing something completely different. And to an ordinary observer, it's terrible. But to someone, it's almost like our podcast, really. There's probably one or two people out here that see something in it, in how bad it is.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But the majority
we
of
can
people
tip it.
Hey, I found this right up now, okay? So this is the event details. When you click the link to buy the ticket.
Sure, this is what comes up, right?
Yep. Referred to as the Enfant Terrible of Australia's underground rock music scene.
L'enfant terrible, which means the
E-N-
terrible children.
Really? ENFANT.
I only know this because Metal Gear Solid, right, one of the greatest video game series of all time, the secret program that was used to clone this guy named Big Boss into children was the Les Enfants Terribles project, right? So,
well, okay, all right. You've got like
which
amazing, yeah. You've got like the right sort of tone, and you're saying it with a French accent and everything.
well, I'm not going to say Les Infant Terrible.
Well, I don't know what I'm dealing with here. It says the infant terrible. It doesn't have any little like fancy dashes above any of the letters or anything.
I hope this means he's a clone of Big Boss. This is great. Yeah, go on.
Very interesting you know what that is, because I had no idea when I was reading. Okay, this June marks the 10-year anniversary of the album the New York Times described as the most unpleasant listening experience in recent memory, including Yeezus.
Wow, that's huge. Huge props.
To this day, it remains one of the most vital, visceral and original debuts in Australian music history.
Interesting.
We are, of course, referring to Kirin J. Callinan's Embracism.
Okay. Got it.
Some more stuff.
I'm excited. Yeah, no, that sounds great.
Man, you should come.
Yeah, that sounds great. Does he know what he's doing? He obviously knows what he's doing. So he knows what he's doing. Do you know what I'm saying with that?
By doing something bad, he's okay. So he has some skill.
The skill is in him being able to do something bad. He knows it's bad, is my point. Whereas people like Bangs don't know it's bad. They probably think it's pretty good.
Who did that song Friday?
Yeah, Rebecca Black.
Does she think it's good?
No, I don't think so.
What's going on there? What happened?
Some things just pop off, man. Some things just pop off.
How
and when
did
something
that pop
pops
off?
off,
If she can pop off, we can pop off.
Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But there's more factors in that. But I don't care about Rebecca Black. I don't think I need that information in my brain. She, Bangs doesn't know he's that the songs are bad, but they're so bad they're good and they're amazing and I love them.
Is it Bangs?
Yeah.
Bangs?
Yeah.
I need to lay eyes on. So it's a girl.
No. You just found a bunch of videos about Bangs hairdos. It's not a girl. Yeah, you can't type Bangs into YouTube and expect to get the Bangs. Anyway, there's another guy called guy called D4NNY. His name's Danny, right? His music is like what you're describing with this Kirin Callinan guy. If you watched it, you would think he's serious. You would think he believes what he's saying and that he's doing it earnestly. But I can see through that because I know he knows.
He's taking the piss?
I know he knows, right?
Does he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I'll get some Danny to you as well.
Vibe.
You need to get into this stuff because it's quality. It's quality music.
Oh, good. I need some new music. I was listening to Speaking in Tongues as well this week.
Yeah, that's a good album.
Doing some of my homework and that's pretty good. I wasn't I was liking parts of it. It wasn't grabbing me. Like once I got to the end of the album, I wasn't like, I need to put it on again.
No. That's fair enough. No, it's a sleeper though. It'll come back.
Good. I'm going to listen to it.
Really
I like to listen to albums 2 or 3 times through. That's the real test. So then after that, you're familiar with a few of the tracks and they start to jive.
I like that. If you're into the Talking Heads and you want more of that, Stop Making Sense is that live shot musical that he did, like a live concert. You could watch it on YouTube or you could listen to it on Spotify.
What albums does that include?
A bunch.
Yeah. Was that after Speaking in Tongues or was it a long time after?
Speaking in Tongues.
Yeah.
There's some huge tracks in it. It's one of the best live things I've ever seen on film, that is.
Yeah, okay. I saw one of the best things I've seen in a long time, actually.
Yeah.
It was the Dune, the old 1984 Dune movie.
You watched it?
I did watch it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And look, as I thought, it was pretty terrible. Speaking of things that are terrible, that's in the mix. It's pretty bad. But you
can see why Lynch took his name off it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I was weird about. The one I saw still had his name on it.
Yeah.
The one
well,
I was watching still had his name, but I
Yeah.
heard it was an Allan Smithees,
Yes.
being the pseudonym used by film directors who want to disown
Yes.
the movie. But the one I watched had his name on it like 3 times in the opening credits.
Yeah, what you'll find is a lot of the theatrical posters will have Allan Smithees on it.
Oh, okay. What other Allan
But
Smithies
but it's
are
not
there?
uncommon for them to do that, where a director goes, yeah, fuck, everybody knows anyway. It's the internet, like the internet age. Anyway, directed by David Lynch. It said it on it, huh? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm just having a look through on Wikipedia for Allan Smithees films.
Yes.
But they all, we got The Shrimp on the Barbie, 1990. Haven't heard of that one. I haven't heard of any of these. Solar Crisis, 1990. Blood-Sucking Pharaohs in Pittsburgh.
They all sound terrible movies. They all sound really bad.
Look, I'll read out a couple more. I'm just going in order. So we're in 91 at the moment. Apparently it started in 68. The first one we should know it's called Fade In.
Yes.
Let me just check that was the first one. Yeah, well, all started in 68, and I think this is the first one. Fade In, a.k.a. Iron Cowboy.
Mm.
That must have been so terrible.
Yeah.
To be the first one. Okay, I'll just read out a couple. Maniac Cop 3, Badge of Silence.
These all sound like fucking B-grade movies, right? They all sound really bad.
National Lampoon Senior Trip.
Yeah, see, it's not the OG National Lampoons. Right. Directed by Kelly Macon with a segment credited to Smithy. So I don't know about...
Oh, see, then Dune's further down. Dune's in this second lot here. So Dune only for the version as extended and edited for broadcast television.
During their original theatrical productions, they were credited to the actual directors. That's interesting. When edited for TV or for other reasons, Smithy credit was used. Okay, that's interesting.
In addition to the Smithy directing credit, for the broadcast TV version, Lynch's screenwriting credit goes to Judas Booth.
Yeah.
A reference to Judas Iscariot and John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, so you know who Judas Iscariot is?
Yeah, who's John Wilkes Booth?
He's the guy that shot Lincoln, isn't he?
Yeah, shot Lincoln.
Yes, he shot Lincoln.
Yes. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Interesting.
What a
That's another
Judas
thing.
Booth.
A couple of other movies. Meet Joe Black, Scent of a Woman, airline version, directed by Martin Brest.
Airline version?
Yeah, the airline version of Scent of a Woman.
Hey, but
Heat.
you got to check this out, or I can send you the photo. But during Dune, there was a scene that I just loved. So Patrick Stewart is in it.
Mm-hmm.
He plays one of like the main guard blokes. I think his name's Gurney Halleck.
Mm-hmm.
In Dune, one of Paul's main like 2 ICs, and for some reason the Atreides, the sort of family that we're supposed to, the good guys, they love pugs in this version of Dune.
Right.
There's pugs all around the spaceships and everything else. Then there's one scene where Patrick Stewart's got a pug under his vest and he's leading the charge against and he yells out, "Long live Duke Leto!" with this little pug, and he starts firing off shots. And I was like, what? This is the best thing I've ever seen.
I've never seen pugs used in a war before.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart with a bloody... And the thing's set in 10,191.
But is that an Earth? Is that something we can relate to, or is that just a fucking
AD.
arbitrary number?
No, it's apparently
AD.
Yeah,
so these
it's
are humans.
8,000 years in the future, but the pugs are still the same.
Interesting.
Have you seen the shot?
Humans look pretty much the same as well for 10,000 years as well. I don't know if that should matter.
Yeah, but we're breeding these things, you know.
Hang on. Where did you send it?
Oh, I don't have to. How do I send it to you easily? Just type in Patrick Stewart pug into Google.
Yeah, I could do that.
It's exceptional.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Well,
that made the movie for me.
It's got a gun and a pug.
And
That's so strange.
The worms, we knew it. We said this last week. The worms look terrible.
Well, we knew that would happen, right?
Yeah, they tried. They just look lame.
Oh, I went to the movies last week.
Yeah?
Saw Indiana Jones 5.
Oh, did you?
I did. I took my mum.
Oh, what did you guys think?
No, I thought I'll give you a spoiler-free version. It was good. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was trying to make up for the fact that it couldn't do a lot of stuff anymore, stunt-wise.
Did they do a lot of stuff beforehand?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I can't remember. So what, Harrison Ford loved to stunt, did he?
Not Harrison Ford, his stunt double.
Yeah.
His stunt double loves stunts. I think Harrison would have done some stuff in the OG 3 and 4 and 5, right? But the amount that you can do nowadays on set is nothing.
Well, what do you mean? Why not? What can't you do?
You can't take risks on the sets.
Do you think it's just a light? It's what I mean. I know
it's
Tom
occupational
Cruise,
health
Tom Cruise
and safety.
takes some risks. Yeah.
Sure. His stunts look good. Right, this movie's stunts did not look good.
Is it the actors or is it the producers?
It's the production, right? It's the production. Back in the day, I'm talking the 80s, the 70s and stuff, when they were making Indiana Jones and Star Wars and stuff, you've got like a tank and his face is a millimeter or two away from the treads of this tank, right? And they go, is everyone cool to do this shot? All right, we got the actor here. He's going to be on the treads of the tank, and then his face is going to be really close to it. It's going to be like, right? And they go, can we do that? And everyone goes, yep, do it. Nowadays, you can't do that.
You can't do that. Why not?
Because people get hurt. So you have to fake all that.
But they're just near the treads.
No. Yeah, you got to fake all the danger. All the danger's faked now. Okay, when you watch a Transformers
there's
no danger.
You're not in front of the treads. What's going to happen? The tread's going to like flip off and bite him.
No, you get your face pushed into the treads. It wouldn't feel good.
No, but no one's pushing his face into the treads. I don't understand.
But you're missing the point. They wouldn't even allow that. Okay.
What, a tank?
So
they just no tanks on set.
My argument about this is a lot like the bring back the Biff argument, which I totally disagree with. Right? I totally disagree with having unnecessary risk in life. Right? It's bad. You can get hurt. Right. So bring back the Biff. Back in the 80s, football players would spend 25% of the game just punching each other, basically. Just punching each other in the face.
That's a slight overstatement. It works in favor of your argument, yes.
But people loved it. If the fight breaks out on the field and the ball goes right, the people watch the fight. That's just how we roll.
Yeah.
So when people go, man, I miss the old days when people used to just get fucking knocked out all the time. That was great. I'm not saying that at all, right?
No.
And I don't. And when I watch Indiana Jones, there is a magic to, watching the original 3 where you actually feel something when the stunts are being done. I don't feel anything anymore when the stunts are being done. Do you know what I'm saying?
Is it because that they're not convincing enough because it's not actually happening and they're using CGI?
It's a combination of
can't
poor
fully
CGI.
trick you. Yeah,
it's a combination of poor CGI and just like trickery, straight up trickery. Then they're clearly on a green screen. Well, then there's no danger at all.
I'm surprised that they clearly look like they're on a green screen in Indiana Jones 5. We're talking.
No. The special effects were done. There was a lot of them. And it was done convincingly, and all the de-aging stuff looked great. But I just felt nothing during the action sequences. I didn't feel like there was anything going on.
I rarely feel anything in action sequences.
But you've watched the original Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
They're fucking incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
like they're huge set pieces.
Movies nowadays,
like post-Transformers sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all just a CGI nightmare. And I'm not a fan, basically.
Dune's terrible in that regard as well.
But they were just discovering special effects back then. This is 84, right? They got dealt hard.
This is what I realized.
Star Wars came out about 8 years prior.
That's what made me realize how good Star Wars was. But I haven't seen the original Star Wars. I'm seeing all the special effects versions of them.
Mm-hmm. I see what your point is.
I don't really know. I can't remember what an original version of a Star Wars movie looks like.
They look incredible.
Because they did not nail it in Dune.
No, they didn't have the budge.
And
It got smithied.
It got smithied. Yeah. Do you reckon it was the budget? It looked terrible at a lot of the time.
It looked like a TV movie, right?
Yeah, it did.
What you'd expect like Hercules to look like, or
the acting,
Xena Warrior
unfortunately,
Princess.
bloody Dale. What's his name? What's that actor's name?
Kyle MacLachlan.
Kyle MacLachlan is his name.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't see him as a Kyle MacLachlan.
No, you see him as a Dale Cooper, right?
Yeah, I see him as Dale Cooper. He looked. He's. I don't think he's a very good actor.
No, you weren't convinced, right?
No, not at all.
But he got the gig as Dale Cooper in David Lynch's later work. What does that tell you?
Well, maybe he saw something in him.
He did, and he got there eventually, didn't he?
And maybe
because Dale
he wanted
Cooper's
that
character
style.
is incredible. Like Dale
exactly,
Cooper's character is like what you're saying. It is the person now. Kyle MacLachlan's no longer Kyle MacLachlan. Kyle MacLachlan is Dale Cooper. Such a good show. Twin Peaks is up there.
The Dune movie feels like you're speed running the book as well.
Yeah, I hate it when I feel like that.
There's no character development. Like he literally just starts making out with a girl that he meets 5 seconds ago in weird circumstances, and they're just falling in love, and that's it. And then he's sacrificing everything for her all of a sudden.
Yeah, I don't like it, eh?
It's terrible.
You need time. Books are like, you need to give it the space. I think the good thing that happened recently, at least in the last sort of 10 or 15 years, is really good books or really good stuff gets made into TV series like your Game of Thrones, right? Imagine if Game of Thrones 7 books was done, or 6 books or whatever it is, was done in 2 movies. It would have been a fucking shit show. Just like you're saying, no character development, nothing, too much shit to get in, too much shit to cram in. Don't have time for this.
Too much.
Yeah, and Sting's acting on point?
He was not bad because he had this weird kind of energy about him, which I think suited this Harnakin. He was playing this character called Fade Rather, who's supposed to be a bit of an eccentric dude.
Great. So you get Sting for that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he was actually not bad. He was one of the better ones.
Mm.
Apparently they wanted Mick Jagger to play that character.
Wow. Well, this was the time, wasn't it? Labyrinth was being done. David Bowie was in Labyrinth. Doesn't remember any of it, apparently.
Why not?
Because he was fucked up.
So was David Bowie just a full tripper?
Sorry, it's not that he didn't remember filming Labyrinth. It's that he doesn't remember making Magic Dance, the song from Labyrinth.
Oh.
You know, dance, magic, that one.
He doesn't remember making it?
No, he doesn't remember making the song. Well, he's dead now. He doesn't remember anything. But, yeah, fascinating. So they were doing it at the time. Other musicians have made their ways into films, like Flea, who was in all the Back to the Futures.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he plays Needles. We've talked about it on the pod before. He plays Needles in 3 different movies or 2 different movies because the end of Back to the Future 1, the end of Back to the Future 2, Needles and Marty know each other in their adult lives. They work for the same company. Needles gets Marty fired from his gig. Yeah, and Marty's got this fucked up injury because he had a car accident when he was 20 or something. So he's playing he can no longer play guitar, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, when he's back in 1985 with his girlfriend, Jennifer, they're driving in the street, Needles pulls up and goes, fucking let's drag, bitch, kind of thing. Let's go. And Marty, because he's had a bit of character development, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't drag him, doesn't give in to the getting called chicken thing, which is a bit of a character point for him. Every time someone calls him chicken, he stands up for himself. And you think that's a good thing. But the movie's trying to teach you that, hey, like sometimes you should not drag the crazy person in the street.
Yeah, he's sort of baiting you into it.
He's baiting you.
They know your ticks.
When Needles goes, they barely miss a semi-trailer or something. They barely miss him. But Marty would have smacked into it.
Okay.
Thus, the rest of the movie. And they spend the whole movie trying to fix mistakes made in the past timelines, only to like fuck his entire future timeline, like right there by not having the car accident, right? You were meant to have the car accident. You're meant to not play again. You're meant to have a couple of kids and work for the Needles' company till you get fired. Like that's all part of your jam.
This is the thing with time travel. It's complex.
It is, but you have to look at it within the current paradigm that is in the movie. because Doc kind of explains how their version of time travel works in Back to the Future.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be careful. And this is one of those things. There's no regulations about time travel.
There should be.
There's no book how to time travel.
No. A lot of people had a crack at it, though.
We should probably be doing this. Maybe we can think of some regulations, like things you can and can't do, how we're going to police time travelers.
We could figure out what our perfect time travel rules are, rules of the universe for time travel, because everyone's got their own, you know. Terminator's different to Back to the Future. Back to the Future's different from Bill and Ted. They're all doing time travel. It's not all the same.
I don't know. I mean, I could probably think my way through it if I went through the movies. I don't know what the rules are, but they do have a lot. They do have some different premises, don't they, about whether you can sort of
change the past or not.
Yes.
Or whether or not that was the way it always was. And, you know, that kind of thing. You have to do this because now this starts the loop. Yeah.
Just about Dune as well, just whilst it's on my mind, it made me realise I like watching these older movies and I'm thinking about when they were done because they give me context with other things I've watched. Having watched 2001 A Space Odyssey recently, that was 68.
68.
And it looked amazing.
Yes. I think Star Wars doesn't happen without that.
I don't think it does either. Dune just didn't.
It's a good point.
It made me realise, but it wasn't big. But I'm being too picky about Dune because it just obviously didn't have the budget. They could have done it. Like I'm sure they could have done it, and that's why Lynch dropped his name. So I don't know why. Yeah, if he dropped his name from it,
right,
he's not happy with it. I'm allowed to not be happy with the way it looks as well.
I don't think he's happy with it.
No, he's not happy with it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Also, if he was happy with it and you weren't happy with it, you're still allowed to not be happy with it if you wanted to not be happy with it.
Yeah, I certainly
You're entitled to that. But you're right about 67 or 68 being Space Odyssey. This is something that I pointed out to a friend of ours the other day because he's recently become a bit of a Star Wars nerd because he thinks The Mandalorian's a really good show. He thinks it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, okay.
And he thought that Andor, which came out recently, is a 10.5 out of 10. So he likes those two series a lot. It's made him into a bit of a Star Wars nerd. But he's still very critical of all the crap that has come out of Star Wars in the last sort of 10 years as well. He's critical of the crap stuff.
Rogue
but he's
One.
I personally didn't like Rogue One. I know a lot of people did. The Obi-Wan series. I didn't
like Rogue One. I don't even know about those other ones that you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's a couple of other ones. But he's turned into a bit of a nerd. And
do I know this nerd?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know this nerd very well.
I need to watch Mandalorian. I'm going to watch it on this nerd's strong recommendation.
Let's just say he's a Trekkie.
Oh, yeah.
So now you know who we're talking about.
Yes. 10.5.
He gave it a 10.5, dude.
Are you even allowed to do that?
I didn't think you could, but he's done it. Okay, but my point is that Star Wars / Lucasfilm / Industrial Light and Magic, which is the special effects studio responsible for a lot of Star Wars, because you can't have Star Wars without those special effects. Even the ones in 77 were groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the point I made to him is that at every step along the way, Lucasfilm has been pushing the bar up every time with the tech that they bring, right? They invented a lot of the tech to do a lot of the stuff with the space flying, like X-Wings and stuff in 77. Then they invented green screen hell, which we're currently experiencing right now on the show.
Oh, so they're responsible.
They invented green screen hell with the prequels, right? And then other film studios have now adopted green screens and stuff, CGI characters, all this sort of stuff.
They've really taken it to the next level, yes.
And then The Mandalorian comes out, and that's when they debut this fucking new LED wall thing that they've got.
Yeah.
This LED wall that they can change day to night instantly. It's all done through a video game engine. They get natural lighting off from the environment to the subjects. It's a fucking game changer again right? And
How
The
many
Mandalorian
people-
used
yeah,
it really
yeah.
well.
They did. And how many
And-
people have adopted that new technology?
Oh, it's been used on a couple of projects, but here's the thing. It's got limitations, just like green screen hell has limitations. It's got limitations as well. Obi-Wan was shot in the volume. They call it the volume. Obi-Wan was shot in there, and for a lot of it, it just looks really cheap.
Wait, they call the LED setup the volume?
Yeah, the volume.
And is that because it creates depth perception?
I don't know. I don't know why they call it the volume, but
okay.
it's probably because but like depth perception is, you could do that with a green screen as well.
But
So your
you
background is
can
just as out of
move.
focus.
There's something about it. I don't know.
It's very cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
as the camera moves around the subjects, the background shifts, not so
Yeah.
it looks right for the people who are watching the performance, but only for the camera does it look right.
Yes.
So you get these funky shots. Like you could zoom in and the background would respond as if the camera's zooming in on the subject. It's incredible. For the most part, if you were on the set, you'd be like, this doesn't look right. Of course, it doesn't look right for you. For the camera, it looks
only has to
spot
look
on.
right for the camera.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan used that to fucking death, and it was made the show look really cheap. Mandalorian did a really good job with their use of it, and the story's just fucking really good. So,
I'm on it. Consider it done.
really, you're gonna?
Yeah.
Which one are you gonna do? Andor?
Mandalorian. No,
Oh, you're doing
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's pretty exciting. I'll look forward to chat
Yeah,
about
well,
Mandos.
in real Star Wars,
What's
real
that?
life Star Wars at the moment, Virgin Galactic just had its first commercial space flight. I think it was just end of last month.
Yeah, right.
So it's happening, and they want to do one every month.
Yep.
And they're going to get to the point of doing one every week.
Wow. And how much does it cost? How many bars are we looking at here?
I think it's 450,000.
Sheesh.
So they're making $2 million because they send up 4 passengers and 2 pilots. So this was called Galactic 01. That was the name of the mission.
Yeah.
And they're doing Galactic 02 in early August.
Okay.
And then they're
Do
going to be
conditions
monthly.
have to be right? Like this is the one with the plane, right? And it takes you up to a certain altitude and then you drop out and do a rocket?
That's it. Yeah, the passengers are in the rocket and the plane takes it up to, I think, 15 kilometers?
That sounds high, dude.
It is high. Let's see here. I thought it was.
What did Felix jump from again? You know the guy that jumped out of the thing? Didn't he jump like 80 Ks?
I don't know. I don't know if he would have jumped that high. You're pretty much in space at that point.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I have a feeling,
estimated 39 kilometers, reached an estimated top speed of 1,357 kilometers per hour at Mach 1.25. He became the first person to break the sound barrier relative to the surface without vehicular power on his descent.
Whoa.
Yeah, when you're watching the footage from the ground, you hear this like boom, and they go, "Was that him?" And they go, "Yeah, that was him."
Yeah,
he sonic boomed, bro.
Yeah, he was sonic booming. He was sonic booming. I don't know what happens when you fart when you're sonic booming, but who knows?
Yeah.
He knows. I don't know if he was thinking about it at the time. So
I think he was too busy shitting himself from all the spinning. Anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah, so Eve drops Unity. Unity's the rocket and Eve's the ship that carries it at 15 kilometers altitude.
Yep. Great name.
So I'm getting Ocean Gate vibes from this Virgin Galactic business.
Are you? Well, how?
There's no safety regulations. There's no space flight safety regulations. They're just...
Yeah, but Origin are doing it. They're launching people into space.
They're not doing it at the moment. They're not doing it. They haven't done one since last year sometime, or even 2 years ago.
Really? They're not doing it anymore?
They got the Shepherd, whatever it's called.
Yep. The one that took Shats up.
Yeah. They've sort of fallen off the planet a little bit. Well, not really.
Oh, jeez. That's not good. That's literally the only thing it shouldn't do.
But it doesn't require independent safety certification.
Yes. Okay.
So it's an authority on itself.
But did Ocean Gate, what kind of regulations are involved in the underwater exploration of the Titanic?
It did not have any independent
None.
safety certifications needed, no.
No. Okay. So I can see why you're getting the vibe then.
You wait till something happens, and all of a sudden everyone's going, "Oh, well, yeah, they were flying in a rocket into outer space
What could
with
go
an
wrong?
airline company."
Yeah. So you're saying to me that if you just happened upon a ticket on the next Virgin Galactic, you're saying no because of the regs?
It's too early adoption. Are you going to be the 6th person to put an implant into their brain that has no independent safety certifications? Yeah, I'm waiting for ultimate regulation and mass rollout.
So the regs happen. The regs come out. Mass adoption. You're going up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when the cost comes down a bit as well, hey, like
$400,000 is a lot of money.
And I reckon it's going to come down quick.
Really?
Yeah, man. Once they get weekly...
We've talked about this before, I know, but what do you think the lowest price to go to space will be in the future? Lowest price to get to space. What's likely? Let's say in the next 20 years.
I'm going to say in 10 years,
yep,
I'll be going for 10 grand. But
10
that 10
Gs
grand
in 10
years is probably only about 7G now.
Well, so you're taking into account that. I thought
Inflation,
you would go for, say, 16 grand or something.
Yeah, no, I'm taking into account inflation. I think it'll be 10 grand, but it won't be as serious as 10 grand now.
Right. That's the lowest you think it'll go? 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, maybe let's remember that. There's a lot of things I need to remember. So think about
commercial space, right? Imagine once the moon base is up, you've got a moon base, there is somewhere to go, there's a resort for the kids, they can go and hang out, right? How much are we talking? Because it's $400K right now to get to just the edge of space. Now we're talking about a moon trip. We're looking at 20 million.
Moon trip.
20 mil? 50 mil? How much?
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
A lot of kilometres to cover, 360,000. That's a lot of
I just don't know. Yeah, we're not even there yet. Can we even go? We don't even know if we can go.
No, we don't know.
If we're just taking NASA's word for it.
We went.
Hey, so about commercialization of space, SpaceX has recently brought up the double century for landing rockets. You know, they send the rocket up and it lands autonomously.
Oh, wow.
And that's something that's come and gone. That only started in 2015, right? So that first one to land in December 2015, everyone was like, man, what is this alien shit we're doing?
Now, it's pretty standard, hey?
Standard. It's transformed spaceflight, and the cost of launching things into orbit.
It's incredible, isn't it, that they used to just explode all the rockets? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I love that Elon pointed that out. He's like, imagine if like every time you went overseas on a trip, like you just flew to your destination, everyone jumps out and parachutes to the ground, and and the plane just blows up. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. That's what we've been doing for 80 years.
That's so crazy.
That's great.
So now we're working
60
on
years, let's
Starship.
say.
So the upper stage of Starship 1, they're working on that. It's called it's actually called Ship 25. Let me send it to you because you need to check out some of these photos.
What are they doing attaching this to Starship?
So this is the upper stage. So the bottom stage, the bottom stage, so we saw it try to launch with its upper and lower stages but didn't separate.
You just sent me text saying SpaceX releases Starship engine test fire photos.
Okay, sorry, I need to copy the link. Let's see if that works.
Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing it. Yeah, there's
that's
6
called
Raptors.
Ship 25. Yeah, that's got 6 Raptors on it. So this is the upper stage prototype that's going to launch on the second mission, which is apparently going to happen. He's also in August, about 6 weeks away. So hopefully it separates this time.
Yeah, well, so this is the same test again. Is that right?
Well, that test is for the upper stage, which they've rejigged a little bit.
Yep. That's so cool, man.
But isn't it crazy that this is the one that's going to be sending people to the moon soon, next year? It's when we haven't even got it off the ground.
Yeah, I don't like the timeline. Hey, we keep shifting the timeline. What is the timeline? Next year, Artemis 1. Is that what you're saying?
Well, Artemis 1 has
Got to be getting nervous if you're an astronaut. You're just looking at the thing, it keeps breaking up in the atmosphere, and they're like, "We are still going right now, yeah, next year." But we keep testing it, and it still doesn't get to orbit yet. No, don't worry, do it on the night. You'll be fine.
Artemis 1 went up just with no people on it, and it used the NASA's or the European like SLS rocket. It didn't use a Starship.
Oh,
and that just sent up dummies to collect data, radiation data, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then
Fantastic.
Artemis 2's next year, and that sends people on the flyby. They're literally just hamsters. They're just copying radiation. They're just saying, "Oh, can we actually send this thing around the moon and come back?" Because before we land on it, we better check that we can go around it.
Not really, right? Because it's two very separate things taking off from the lunar surface and coming back to Earth.
Yeah, it is.
It is different from just swinging around the ball. That is different. But apparently very easy. You ever seen a lunar craft take off from the moon? Looks fucking weird.
It looks so weird, man. It
pops
just bounces off. It just sort of like it's all uniform. There's no acceleration. It just kind of goes like almost like it's being lifted.
Have you watched the other one? I mean, we probably watched it before, but have you watched the one where the camera's still on the surface and it like pans up with it? Have you seen that video?
I don't understand who's operating that camera and how they got the footage because they're not Bluetoothing it.
No, they are transmitting it though, right? They can transmit. That's how we saw the live pictures.
But I don't know.
So we can transmit video.
But you can't. But what? So you're transmitting it. I don't know.
Remote controlled camera transmitting to the lunar module. That's the only way I can see it happening. And then recorded locally onto film. I have no idea how else that footage is possible.
It's a pretty good connection, all things considered.
Great connection.
Yeah.
68 or something. Yeah, pretty good.
So this is interesting. So Richard Branson founded Virgin Galactic in 2004, and he predicted the company would be flying paying customers to and from space by 2007.
Wow.
So that's how they lie to us as well. And that's where that's the technology gap as well. Yeah. So if we think we're sending to humans, we think we're sending humans in 2 years. Really, the reality is probably like 2030. And if we think we're going to Mars in 2032, man, try on 2050.
Yeah, or later.
That's a bit depressing now that I see that.
He had lofty goals. Need to dig up some of SpaceX's
this is
predictions.
The thing. He didn't give up either, right?
No.
He did it.
Well, he's doing it.
I reckon I figured out where ads are going as well, hey?
What? Where ads are going?
Yeah, ads.
Yeah, go on.
AI ads.
Ooh, what does that mean?
Well, I think eventually AI is going to be generating video content.
This is already happening.
Is it?
Yeah.
In the same way it creates pictures, like art from pictures, it's going to be doing video. So have you seen any AI-generated video?
Yeah. They're usually like pizza ads. It'll be on a Reddit or something. Someone will say, I asked AI to make an ad about pizza. And it's just a backyard full of morphed humans eating morphed pizza. It's fucking terrifying, really.
Okay.
It just looks like a moving AI image, like you said. Yeah.
Wait for that technology to get a little bit better. Okay.
Yep.
Right now, when I go to certain websites, it will have personalized ads on the page. Like there's a book that I've been looking at. It will have the book embedded.
It knows who you are. It's going to give you
who I am and who I'm. Yeah, it's got a lot of metadata on me. So what's going to happen is I think it's going to be a bit like an Old Spice ad, but it's going to be customized to my interests and likes.
Yeah, even the style of the ad will be to your interests, so that because they'll say, oh, this makes people pay attention more if it's something they
exactly 100%. They'll be like, oh, he likes this style.
So it uses all your metadata to make an ad for you.
Yeah, and you're enjoying it, right? It probably gets your attention, and it's probably good. So anything that captures your attention and that you watch, a bit like your YouTube recommendations. So mine's going to have like, I don't know, like a League of Legends sort of highlight. Faker will be in it. What else is going to happen? Let me get up my YouTube.
So you think Faker's going to show you a book that you want to buy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Faker can walk up to you and go, "Hey Nate, hope you're having a nice day and all that. Here's this cool new book that I heard about. You might like it."
Okay.
I have a whole bunch of products back here that you're probably going to love. I got heaps of shit, bro. Look at these shoes.
It will be their Pogacar could be in it because I got some cycling highlights. I got some best
When
AFL
you know it's an
debut.
ad, don't you just tune out? You know what I mean?
But you won't. You almost won't
you
know.
will.
You won't
will.
know. No, but it's when you see a bank ad, it's almost like what banks are doing now. Bank ads, all this wholesome content comes up. You're like, what the fuck is this ad about?
Yeah,
and then at the end, it's
future.
like bank better.
We love you. Yeah, we love you. Love is important.
Bank with us. And you're like, what the fuck is that? That's got nothing to do with the bank. It's just a whole bunch of random content. Yeah, not even a lifestyle. It's just like they're trying to make you just things that you feel good about, and then they're just
If you want to feel
their
good,
brand. They're like, this is part of our brand.
We're all about feeling good.
Can't you see ads going that way? It's all going to be so customized, and it's going to be weird.
But that's I love it because my website idea, aifilms.com, patent pending, is that exact thing. You type a prompt in. Danny DeVito fights Kurt Russell in a Mortal Kombat style movie with Jennifer Love Hewitt co-starring and Sting, and just make up the story. I don't really give a shit. And then in an hour's time, you come back to your computer, bang, there's a movie ready to go just for you.
Well, that's exactly what the AI ads are going to be, but they're going to be those prompts are going to be fed in through metadata that you've from your clicking
and automatically delivered to your head. Yeah, because by then, of course, we'll have our little Google glasses on or whatever that will have in the future, whatever the glasses are, and it just pops straight up, doesn't it? It's just going to be all up in your grill, isn't it?
What they'll do is they'll say you can have the Google glasses or the Google contact lens, whatever it is, for free. They say, we'll give this to you.
Oh, right. But you
we
can't
have control
ads.
of, we'll be augmenting the background. We won't put them right on people's faces, but behind people, there'll be a Pepsi ad.
Ooh. I think we need to start the ball rolling here on some personal space stuff regarding this stuff, right? We need to start the ball rolling on this before it gets out of control.
What, protecting our personal space?
By the time we're putting the chips in our heads, we need to make some pretty firm rules about how that works from an advertising perspective, from a government perspective, all that stuff, right? We need to look at some stuff.
Well, if you want the free version of the hardware, it's going to be riddled with advertisements. If you pay top dollar, you can disable the ads. But if you're getting the free version, which all the poor people will be getting.
Well, a lot of people would get the free
version. That includes me. I probably can't. I can't afford whatever Google
couldn't you
glasses
just install
cost.
some sort of blocker?
It will be a constant battle between the blockers and the ads. They'll win though. The ads will fucking win.
It's an exciting future. And we are nearly about out of time. It is 11:59 on the Doomsday Clock if you're playing at home. And is it still 11:59? I'm pretty sure it's always 11:59 on the Doomsday Clock these days. Is that right?
Oh, look, sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
But we will see you next week. And thanks for coming in. It's all good.
Cheers, guys.
Oh, do you want to quickly mention that it's been a bit of a roller coaster week in regards to the subscriber count? It went up, it went down, it went up again. We're back at 40.
No, I didn't know that. No,
I don't think
really.
Is it the same person. Have they come back? Have they listened? Have they gone? We don't know.
Was it our pleas? Was it our desperate pleas for subscribers? We need more subscribers, please.
And the threatening, yeah. Yeah, it was both of those things. But thanks for that. Send us an email. VacuousPerspective@mail.com.
I will harm myself if we don't get.
Whoa. No, you can't be doing that.
No. I was joking, but I realised that some people on YouTube take that seriously.
Understood. We will see you next week.